Before the trigger is pulled, before the bullet ever moves, a modern handgun is already making decisions. What looks like a simple piece of metal and polymer is actually a timed mechanical sequence measured in milliseconds. Today, we're breaking down how a modern handgun actually works, step by step, without drowning you in diagrams and without needing 100 different visuals. Just logic, motion, cause and effect. At rest, this pistol is not ready to fire in the way movies show it. Inside the slide, the striker is only partially cocked. That means spring tension exists, but nothing can move forward on its own. 3 internal safeties are active right now. No buttons, no switches, no manual effort. Gravity can't fire it. Dropping it can't fire it. Snagging the trigger halfway can't fire it. Nothing happens until one full decision is made. That decision starts here, the trigger. This isn't a single action, it's a sequence. As the trigger moves backward, it does 3 things at once. It finishes cocking the striker, it disengages the firing pin safety, and it lowers the drop safety. All 3 must clear in the correct order at the correct distance. If even one fails, the gun stays inert. This is why modern pistols feel spongy compared to old steel guns. You're not just pulling a trigger, you're completing a system. At the very end of the pull, the striker is released. Now, the clock starts. The striker spring drives the firing pin forward, it impacts the primer ignites the powder, and expanding gas launches the bullet down the barrel. That part is obvious. What matters more is what happens next. As the bullet exits the muzzle, that same gas pressure is already doing a second job. It forces the slide backward. This pistol uses a short recoil system, meaning the barrel and slide briefly move together before unlocking. This delay is intentional. If the slide opened too early, pressure would still be dangerously high. So the barrel cams downward slightly, unlocking from the slide only after the bullet is gone. Timing is everything. Once unlocked, the slide continues rearward alone. This single motion accomplishes 5 things. The empty casing is pulled from the chamber. It strikes the ejector and exits the ejection port. The striker is recocked. The recoil spring is compressed, and the next round is lifted into feeding position. All of this happens faster than your eye can track. No electronics, no sensors, just geometry and force. At the rear of travel, the slide stops. Then the recoil spring pushes it forward again. As it moves forward, the slide strips a fresh round from the magazine, guides it up the feed ramp, and chambers it. The barrel cams back upward, locks into the slide, and the pistol is sealed again. One shot has completed a full mechanical cycle. But here's what most people miss. The gun will not fire again yet. Why? Because the trigger hasn't reset. Until you release the trigger forward past a specific point, the sear will not re-engage. That audible and tactile click, that's the reset. Only after that can another full decision be made. This is deliberate. It prevents uncontrolled fire. It enforces rhythm. Now let's talk about the magazine, because this is where reliability lives or dies. The magazine isn't just a container, it's a spring-powered feeding system. Spring tension, follower angle, feed lip geometry, all determine whether the next round rises correctly. Too weak, misfeeds. Too strong, timing issues. This is why cheap magazines cause gun problems that aren't actually gun problems. The pistol is only reliable as the system feeding it. When the last round is fired, something different happens. The magazine follower rises high enough to engage the slide stop. As the slide moves rearward, it locks open. No electronics, no counter, pure mechanical signaling. An empty gun announces itself without words. From the outside, this looks simple. From the inside, it's a choreographed collapse and reconstruction repeated under explosive force. Every surface is shaped to guide motion. Every spring rate is tuned for timing. Every angle exists for a reason. This is why modern pistols look similar across brands. Mechanics doesn't care about logos. The genius of this system isn't power, it's restraint. Nothing happens until it must. Nothing moves without permission. Nothing fires unless multiple conditions agree. A modern handgun isn't violent by default, it's conditional. And that's the part most people never understand. If you slow it down, frame by frame, what you're really watching is discipline built into metal, not chaos, control. And the next time someone calls it just a gun, remember, you're looking at one of the most refined mechanical decision makers ever built.